Welcome everybody to Phandom Knights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. I'm Chris.
I'm Dustin.
And I'm Hefe.
And I'm Hefe.
And today we are talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 2, Chepisode 8, The Chase, which was released on May 26th of 2006.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sequential, but I like to bring it up anyways. Dustin, take us through the story.
So the beginning, I thought it was pretty hilarious as it opened with the gang and their newfound member, Toph Beifong, who, I think we just discussed this at an earlier time, but she's like the only person with the last name because, you know, they hold land and prominence.
Huh. Never thought about that before.
I thought we talked about that. I thought you brought that up.
Maybe he did, but yeah.
Yeah, so the reason why all the characters like don't have last name is because apparently they just like don't have enough money or land or something like that. And Toph's family does. There's no Katara Nelson or
yeah, I never thought about that. I don't know why.
Toph
Interesting. Okay.
But Katara's complaining about Appa's shedding, and then we have that scene of Aang having like, oh, it's all about spring and majestic, and there's just like a bunch of wilderness animals.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, man, he's a Disney character.
Yeah,
he kind of is.
But then everyone started loving Appa's fur. Like Sokka made a wig. Aang was like, I got a beard. And then she's like, I'm glad there's one other girl around here. And then Toph's like, and I got armpit hair.
It just sets the tone for who she is as a character so well. I mean, we already know, but
right.
Yeah.
Then the one scene right after that is Aang. He sneezes and just smacks Appa in the ground just so hard.
Yeah.
I thought he would knock him out. And he's just like,
they're just laughing.
Yeah. So then they begin to set up camp for the night after riding all day, and everyone else is setting up camp, and Katara doesn't think that Toph is putting enough, team playing work for setting up camp, and so she asks kind of nonchalantly, like, what's your problem, dude? Like, why can't you help? And she pretty much just like brushed it off.
I mean, I kind of get Toph's point, because her whole point in this is I added myself to the group, yes, but I'm doing all of my stuff, so you guys can just keep doing your own little thing. Katara just wants to bring her into the fold and like be a team together and all that stuff, but Toph's like, I'm putting in as much work as I added, so leave me alone. Which, I mean, I don't see the problem with that really, but
Katara thinks of it as a family, and they all need to pitch in and do their fair share, and that's just the way she was raised, probably.
That's not my job. I'm on break.
I'm on break. Give me 15. Yeah. I also put in here that Sokka gets hurt every single episode by one of the Team Avatar, by either Appa, Momo, or Aang or something, like, because Katara threw like some huge thing off of Appa, and Sokka wasn't looking and just squashed him, and he's like, ah!
I think he just is constantly in a state of getting hurt.
Right. He endures so much pain. Yeah. Like I said, this man endures so much pain on this journey, and we just brush it off like it's nothing.
Yeah.
He gets hurt more than anyone probably, and it's just like, yeah, whatever. He's a non-bender. So the next night, Katara tries some reverse psychology on Toph and tried to get her to realize her wrongdoings, and it kind of backfires.
I love that line. Yeah, sorry, I know we're all getting on each other's nerves. We're all just a little tired, and yeah, you do seem tired.
Yeah, you seem tired.
You seem tired.
I'm fine. You seem tired.
But I like how in this episode, everyone just starts getting horrible bags into their eyes because they're just so tired the entire time.
I love it towards the end, with Aang especially.
Yeah.
So then we get that cut scene of the mechanized like war tank thing coming out of nowhere, and just looked crazy dangerous. There's like spikes coming out of the front. Gave me like a Mad Max Fury Road type look to it. It's pretty cool. It's
just unrelenting, and like there's so the whole thing is they're flying away from this thing, and it just keeps catching up. But they fly over like crazy terrain. And I'm like, how the heck did this thing get over there? And why wouldn't you just fly over the ocean or something? You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they have to practice with Earth.
Yeah, I suppose they gotta stay on land somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, could just go back to Kyoshi Island and just be safe there the
entire
time.
Exactly. That's what
Why
I'm saying.
not just go grab a teacher and then go back to Kyoshi Island?
Yeah.
Grab a teacher, come back to Kyoshi Island. Like, that'd be the smartest, safest location.
Right, we're done with Earth. Now we gotta find a firebender. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah.
Part of me wishes John was the bend master for Aang though.
Right.
John.
John.
Oh, okay.
The firebender,
yeah.
the from the
deserter.
the desert, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish he did come
Like
in.
what is that episode?
Yeah, but it's good that we'll get to it, but
So then the third night comes around and Katara starts to freak out at this point at Toph for not doing her favorite.
no, this is all this. It's all just one night.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was setting up different times because they're both on the same night,
No,
but they.
It's the same
they
night,
keep
but they
being
just keep
chased.
having to move.
Right. My
They
bad.
just keep I mean, they probably fly for a couple hours and then they stop and
Right.
they fly for a couple hours.
Yeah.
'Cause later on, Sokka says,
We've
"The
been up
sun's
all night."
coming up. I've never not slept before." He's like freaking out about it.
Yep. It's all one night. My bad.
Yeah.
So then, so Katara starts to freak out, and Aang asks if she's all right, and Katara responds with a very loud version of "I am calm."
Can't you guys both calm down? And Aang's just trying to like bring them both into this. And she's
Right.
like, "I am calm." And she's
And Aang's like, I can see that. Yep. And he's just like scooting away. Sokka describes his ponytail as a warrior's wolf tail.
yeah.
That was pretty weird.
Was it Katara who's like, "Yeah, it shows all the other warriors how fun and perky you are."
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Oh man.
Katara
They're just getting
had
on
so
each
many
other's
slams,
nerves. Yeah, I know. When
And Katara, usually who's the softest, is just dishing
when
it
she
out.
gets tired, she just gets mean.
That's me. She's like me, man.
Uh,
So Aang suggests meeting the thing that's chasing them instead of for reasons I don't know, but I get the feeling that they are chasing them and using those lizard things to track
yeah,
them.
maybe they're
Tracking
friendly.
the fur.
Ever the optimist.
Yeah, Aang the optimist.
I like how Toph brings up the fur. Like, they're tracking us because of this fur, and everyone, or Katara's like, "No, they're not." And
Aang
then
is like, "How dare you accuse
yeah,
Appa
and that's
of,
exactly what they're doing, though. You know, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Aang even admits it because he flies off with the fur and all
Right.
that stuff. Yeah.
So then Azula and Ty Lee and May show up on the lizards, and I don't know what they call them. Was it something else? You're the creatures,
Oh.
dude. Come on.
That was the one creature that I wrote down in this episode. I didn't know what they're called, but they're like those water skipping Australian lizards, but people
yeah.
ride them. Yeah,
Right. They're oversized.
yeah.
Because the ones that in real life they're only like the size of your hand,
Right.
I think. Right? You can't ride those.
Yeah, right.
What is this? Chepisode 8, you said?
Yeah.
So as Azula starts to charge the team Avatar, Toph suggests it's 3v3, and Sokka's like, "There's 4 of us," and she replies, "I'm sorry, I didn't count you, with no bending and all."
Yeah.
And Sokka's like, "I can still fight," and he gets so mad, and because he's a proud warrior like his father.
Yeah.
And then Toph says, "Okay, 3v3 plus Sokka," and then he just goes nuts, face red, just like goes nuts. That was like my favorite scene of the.
I'm just so happy that we have Toph on the team finally.
I know.
Because from here on out, it's just awesome and hilarious the whole time. Ugh.
So Toph ends up going away because they have their little arguments. She ends up walking away.
Well, after
Right?
the fight scene and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and that fight scene, like just the power that Toph has, I just love that she just like. Duh, duh, duh. I love her bending and the visuals with her bending, and she does these like scenes, and I swear the camera just like jitters every single time she does the intense earthbending, and then all of a sudden just this huge wall. It's just
Yeah, it's amazing how powerful she is
yeah,
for such a tiny body.
I just moved a mountain.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Luke
But then
Skywalker
Azula with lightning
blasts
busts a
through
hole through a mountain. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah,
I knew
it
you
was
guys were
cool.
gonna probably bring that up for the plausibility thing, but I left it out just because it's a
the
fictional
lightning,
universe.
the lightning person. Yeah,
Yeah.
like lightninging a
Rock.
rock.
Well,
Yeah.
that energy could go through a rock, probably. Have we ever seen a lightning
Yeah, what
actually
happens
strike a
when
rock?
yeah, what happens when lightning strikes rock?
Sherman, Google it.
I'll Google it.
It's a mongoose lizard, by the way.
Mongoose lizard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tracking for the mongoose and
Oh.
Actually,
Lizards
it's
survive
the
under the water.
mongoose part is the. I literally just read it too.
they do have a keen sense of smell.
But yeah, we'll keep going through
The team realizes their faults after they drive Toph away after this fight, and they so I don't know why it had nothing to do with Toph, but they look for a way to beat the girls. And Aang gets some fur and then leaves a fake scent trail, and then ends up just waiting in this like abandoned town. It seemed like at the end. So then, Detective Azula must run in the family. Notices the trail of fur heading one direction, but sees the broken tree chops that Appa did when Appa took off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Detective runs
Azula.
in the family.
Yeah. Everyone's a
Dude,
detective.
lightning can bust rock a little bit. I mean,
plausibility.
that's normal lightning, so that would have to be like 1,000 times what normal lightning does, but jeez. Okay.
Well, I mean, when you can manipulate the
Yeah,
elements.
it is blue. Yeah, I suppose.
More hotter lightning. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, even when Iroh, like, lightning bends, it's blue.
Yeah.
Iroh lightning bends in it. That one's blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I don't... What's the color have to do with it?
It doesn't.
I was like... I'm so tired, man. I'm like, what? I don't get this. I'm like, am I missing something?
So Aang is just exhausted. Like I said, he's waiting in this abandoned town that he was walking through and just decides to sit and wait. Sokka is thankful for Appa and gets a nice good licking. Thanks, buddy. Ty Lee thinks Sokka is cute. We have our first like love interest.
Yeah. For Sokka? No.
Well, second one for Sokka.
Second one.
Third.
Third.
Yeah, Suki.
No.
Dang it.
Gosh. Aang asks Azula who she is and what she wants.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. End of episode.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of taken aback by that. I'm like, oh.
Do you remember the scene, though?
Yeah.
No, she's like, I have to restore my honor.
Yeah.
Do you see the family resemblance?
No, I was just like, oh, wait. Yeah, Aang doesn't know who this is.
Right.
Yeah, it just took me a second. Like, wait a minute. No, we've seen her, but Aang doesn't.
Well, they
any
have
idea.
too. They've seen them chasing them before, but they've always got away. Oh. And so Aang finally is confronting them, like, who are you? Why are you chasing us?
Okay. That makes sense.
So Iroh. So then Toph and Iroh, they meet up. They bump
Oh,
into each
yeah.
other because Toph feels the vibrations and hits him in the butt.
Yeah. Oh, my tailbone.
So they're having some tea together. Kind of skipped the part where they met, but, you know, whatever.
What the heck is happening to the camera? It's a glitching. Hopefully.
Technology.
Well, if anything, it'll be audio. This is really weird. Hang on, let me just stop it.
Well, it's not like it's going to be recording like that.
Hopefully not.
That would be funny.
We'll see. We'll just leave it.
Yeah.
That goes to show we don't watch our own videos.
I do, but I don't watch every second of every single one of them.
So Iroh knows that Zuko is alone and lost, but he will find his way, and that he's following him, so that if he needs him, he's there. I'm like, what a man.
Yeah.
Just following his nephew's trail, just in case.
Well, is he lost? Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not physically lost,
but mentally
lost.
lost.
I know. It just hit me hard. Like, oh man.
I miss you, Marco.
Iroh loves him so
I know,
much.
right?
I don't want to get to the Ba Sing Se episode.
I know.
I'm
Tales of
gonna
Ba
cry.
Sing Se
I'm
is
cry, dude.
so
I'm
rough.
gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. R.I.P.
Hot wings after for that one? Just
Hot wings?
crying
Hot
during
wings.
Let's do hot wings for that show. So I felt like that Toph and Iroh both kind of got what they needed to hear.
Mm-hmm. This is my wise saying from this episode was Iroh when he says, "There's nothing wrong with letting people who love you help you." Mm-hmm. You know, it's just Toph learning that, and it's just good. Not that I love you or anything.
Well, I mean, because, like, you think about it from her perspective. Like, she's 12 years old. Mm-hmm. Every day of her life, she's been, like...
Someone's always, like, been forcing her to be helped in a way.
Yeah. So, Katara saves Aang in the fight against Azula, and Iroh comes in the aid of Zuko, and looks like everyone's happy to see lost faces, and they all join forces against Azula. Azula's like, I know when I'm beat, but then she waits for the perfect opportunity to strike, and strikes Iroh right in the chest. And my heart sank, because, well, the first time, I already knew what was going to happen, but...
Also, just how cold-blooded does she have to be?
Just shoot your uncle like that? Bro.
Not just your uncle, but, like, I suppose as fans, I'm like, Iroh of all people. Like, the dude's the sweetest man on earth.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple breakdowns of this episode in particular, and she's cornered, you know, and she's just so calculating. She's like, the only way I can get out of this, I can't attack Toph, I can't attack. She's like, who cares about Sokka? You know, she's thinking of all these things. And she's like, the only one, if I could attack Zuko, but then Iroh's the Dragon of the West, like, I'm dead. So, okay, the only one I can attack is Iroh, because Zuko, it's going to disable Zuko and him.
No.
Everyone else is going to, but as soon as Iroh falls, then that is one of the coolest scenes in this episode, where he falls, and then all of a sudden everyone's just, ah!
Do you know why Azula picks Iroh, though?
Why?
Because he loses his focus and he looks away.
Iroh did?
He looks at Toph and recognizes Toph again.
Yeah,
standing next to Team Avatar.
Deeper.
And so he's looking away, and Azula's like,
thought about
opportunity.
This. Yeah.
That's why she strikes Iroh.
Huh.
It's because he was looking at Toph for just a brief second.
Interesting. Wow, it's even deeper.
You didn't notice that?
I did notice him looking, but I didn't put together that it was in that second. Wow.
Because, yeah, after she looks away, the next scene is Azula striking.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot in that scene. I love it.
But yeah, as soon as Azula does that, Zuko, goes to the aid. Azula gets off free or whatever. Mm-hmm. But Katara goes over and's like, Zuko, I can help. And he's like, get away!
Yeah.
And then the ending scene when they're all like, all sleeping on Appa, it's panning just to Katara, and it seems like she's bothered by not being able to help Iroh.
Yeah.
Because she knows that she could have helped with that healing water that she got.
The ending scene where they're all sleeping, like she looks...
Yeah, but it's just panned on Katara. I mean, you can maybe see Sokka and stuff in the background, but it's mainly focused on Katara while she's sleeping there. And it seems like she's still bothered by it.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah. The only other things I had on this episode was... Beautiful. They all left their stuff again. They all got rid of all their stuff again. They just never hang on to anything. And then,
which just makes me. That's the thing that I'm most curious about. Like, how many Water Tribe merchants are just scattered around the coast, or throughout the world? Just be like, Water Tribe clothes, Water Tribe gear. Anybody? Oh no! Oh, that's blue. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I did like that fight scene when Ty Lee just is attacking Sokka and trying to disable his bending, and he's just all limp the whole time. It's just, I don't know.
Disable
makes me laugh.
Bending?
Well, trying to disable his bending, but he's not a bender, obviously. So yeah, it just makes him limp.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Just reminding me of the holy Monty Python, the Holy Grail, cuts off his arms. I can still win.
Yeah.
Tis a scratch.
Tis just a flesh wound.
Then they finally get some sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
The next episode, they get some sleep too. I'm really glad. After that big old day.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm picturing just let's just do an episode and a half. They're just gonna sleep.
Just 30 minutes of them sleeping.
Actually, that would have been a cool episode. If everybody's sleeping and just watch Momo and Appa walk around.
That would be cool if they had Appa and a Momo episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Do something that was very minor but super detrimental to the safety of the team.
Yeah.
That they prevented, but maybe also started too.
They kind of sort of have their own little side adventures, but not a ton.
When Appa's lost days and stuff.
Yeah.
Another sad one. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
All right, let's go.
We're not there yet.
Let's go through the rating on this episode. So the plot and story. So Dustin, you're in charge of that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So the story arc. This one I thought was awesome. I mean, everyone had a story arc in this one.
Except for Aang.
No, actually, I think it was the next one that I liked better. I don't know. Aang's story in this one?
I mean, where was his arc or growth?
Yeah, I don't know.
He was just kind of a helper. This was mainly...
He's the glue that binded everybody together.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was mainly Toph, leaving and coming back was the main plot of this episode, I guess. And then it was also, I mean, partially, not partially Zuko, I guess, but I guess it all is partially Zuko, too.
Yeah.
He's the other antagonist / protagonist.
I just love the fact that it was an episode that brought like everything to like a culmination, like everybody brought back together.
Yeah. Like at the end there, all these storylines that we have going on everywhere, which isn't super complicated, but they're all crossing in this one little town. That it was just cool. It was like the climax of a bunch of episodes in one.
Right.
And it was a good story just by itself because everyone's been there where you're just super tired and angry at people and
When's the last time you went on a 24-hour binge?
It's been a while actually.
I'm sure sometime in the last couple of months.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I mean, there's been many nights where we don't get a lot of sleep because we got a baby, but
yeah, I suppose.
But staying up all night, never. Or it's been a while. The closest I got was like only sleeping like 2.5 or 3 hours because Ray just would not sleep, and I'm like, all right, we're getting up. But
I might try that next weekend.
Yeah.
The rising action I got for this episode was probably the constant chase that they were pretty much on.
Yeah.
But that was kind of an extended rising action almost.
What do you think the climax of this episode? I think that
everyone battling together.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everyone cornering Azula.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the falling action would be Iroh getting shot with lightning, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then there wasn't really any resolution with the episode either.
Yeah.
Other than Iroh and Toph getting what they needed to hear back, kind of for what their purpose in life is.
Yeah.
Because Toph realizes that her purpose is to like help Aang, and Iroh realizes his purpose is to be there for Zuko.
Yeah.
To physically always be there for Zuko.
What would you rate the story arc then? I honestly want to give it a 10 because I just thought it was good, but now thinking about it, I'm like, it wasn't actually as good as I thought it was. I was rating this right after I watched it. I'm like, this was amazing.
I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, give it a 9. Okay.
It's pretty good.
Execution, so the pacing, vision, and entertainment value. Did they execute their...
Yeah, I thought it was fine. The pacing was fast, but it didn't seem like it was fast where the episode was going to be gone and over with.
I thought the pacing was really good because it was like fast, all this stuff happening, but then...
Brief pauses all the time.
Especially when, like, the scene with Toph and Iroh just sitting there, there was a lot of just slow panning shots, and, like, you could really tell that they were just taking their time with that scene, you know?
I think the pacing, again, like, other than maybe the Toph and Iroh scene, was all pretty fast, just because, again, the title episode is called The Chase.
Right. So you can feel fast, yeah.
So, it's, the title was appropriate for the pacing. Right. I thought this episode was entertaining. Everyone was super exhausted and loopy, and we've all been there, like I said. And there was just tons of comedy along with from that, and there was entertaining small bit of action at the end too. So it was. I thought overall, entertaining wise, it was fun. So, yeah.
What would you rate that one? The execution.
Let's say a 9.
9, yeah. And then just the writing in general, the dialogue, the characters.
Yeah, 10 probably.
10 on that one. Yeah. I like it as well.
A lot of depth in this episode.
Yeah. We literally get everything in this episode. Everything that Avatar does well, I feel like we get in this one. So
I just put that Toph learned to be a team player, and Iroh learned to just be there for Zuko, even if he thinks he's hindering him. Because, like we said, everyone shouldn't feel shame for asking for help from the people they love.
Right.
So he should be there to teach Zuko that. And Katara doesn't learn much other than to let Toph teach the way she does.
Just kind of leave her alone.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's any other character growth that I'm aware of right now. So plausibility just fine in this episode. I don't like to use real physics in fictional universes, but I thought it was fine. I said, you guys have any problems? So do you guys have any problems with the plausibility? We kind of got an answer with the lightning and the rocks,
lightning thing was the only real thing. Like, okay, she just blew a hole in the wall, but I don't know.
Again, I don't know.
It just shows how powerful Azula is.
Lightning 2 is random.
Yeah.
And Azula's is precise. You know what I mean? Like precise energy
just
opposed to just random
focus
energy.
and everything into that one shot.
Right.
Yeah. The performances on this one, I rated it a 9 for the delivery because it was pretty. I don't know. They all made me believe it, especially this. The scene that I really analyzed the most, I feel like, was the scene between Iroh and Toph because there's so much craziness happening, but that was like the biggest character moment for both of them, really. You know, And like you said, the story arc in this one was Toph's story. Even though it had to do with all this other stuff, it was Toph learning to be part of the team and come together. And
right.
So the delivery from those two was excellent, and everyone else. I mean, there was no other problems with everyone else, but theirs was really good. So
I think it delivered the message it was trying to get across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I rate that a 9. The action, meaning like the blocking and not just the action, but how they're all laid out and everything, I rated a 10 on that one because there were so many scenes, especially in that end fight scene and the where you could just tell exactly where everyone was, and it was shot perfectly well, and I don't know, it was good. And then the believability of the performances, like, was their performance believable? Yeah. And every time Zuko's on screen and he gets emotional, it just makes me get, like, not emotional, but it helps me connect even more with the episode, and him just get away, like at the end, like that sold the episode for me. There was everything was good in this episode, but then just that ending scene was really good too. And yeah, Iroh's good.
Always.
So the production.
What do you got for that?
The sounds. Sherman's making the final call on these ones, but the production, so the sounds, the score, sound effects, all that stuff. What would you rate that?
I didn't really notice anything like special about this one. For like for the audio.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to say, for believability I put an 8 instead of a 9 or 10 because it was good, but it wasn't like out of this park.
Yeah. I mean, for sounds, there wasn't anything like over the top or anything. Yeah. So like, I mean, for an average episode, especially for Avatar, I'd give this like a 7. Yeah. Because like
average.
It did like the score didn't make me like feel anything extra or like, like during specific times or like.
I mean, they did good. I mean, even like the Iroh and Toph scene, it was like this nice soothing guitar or whatever music, but I don't know. Visuals,
so
framing and camera motion and stuff.
So believe it or not, I had to do some research on this one. So visuals, I'm honestly going to give this episode like a 6.
Six?
No, hold on. So there are so many like continuity errors in their animation for this episode.
What?
Yeah, there are a ton of them.
Like what?
So like when Toph makes her tent and like in the first scene, like she has it like fold in over her.
It goes up and then over.
It bends. She bends it over her. In the next frame, the very next frame, she's sitting in front of the tent.
Yeah, she's an earthbender. It shows her like zoom into the tent. Did you see that scene?
Yeah,
where she's like outside the tent, and then the scene ends, and it's kind of like a weird cut. But she goes.
I'm not saying scene. I'm saying frame. Yeah. So the very next frame of her is like sitting in front of the tent.
She's like inside, and then it goes to the side.
Whoop, and then instead she's sitting in front. Like there was continuity errors with like Ty Lee's fight with Sokka, because there's like missing items that because he drops his club and his boomerang, and the very next frame, nothing is like the boomerang is not on the ground. There's a bunch of like just. I think it obviously like accidental stuff, but like Toph is like taller randomly in one scene, and the very next time you see her, like she's her normal height because she's taller than Aang in one scene where she's standing on Appa. Yeah, like she's a lot of these are with Toph surprisingly, but like
Appa is round, so if she's standing at the top of the hump and Aang is standing down, she would be taller.
Maybe they were just like still kind of learning how to use an earthbender like prominently in the episode, you know. So
maybe
I don't know. Honestly, in universe, I feel like a lot of your gripes could be just summed up with she's an earthbender.
If you don't research and nitpick, what do you give the video?
If you don't just go off of the goofs on IMDb, what do you?
I'm not even on IMDb for this one.
I know you're on some other random.
I'm on the Avatar like wiki page.
Yeah. No, I
their fandom page.
I rated the visuals a 9.
No.
I like the visuals. So like the whole.
What about this?
These are all the like continuity goofs
in this one
Where
episode.
does it say they're all continuity goofs?
So I'm literally in series continuity goofs, and there's like
that's a lot of them. For this
there's a
episode.
ton.
Wow. Like I said, I think the animation team was just learning how to use an earthbender.
Yeah, I mean it's a new character,
right?
So like,
It's no excuse.
I rated it high because again, I was kind of blowing through this episode and so much was happening, and then the fight scene at the end was just a lot. But so again, the thing I paid most attention to was like when I could finally like, oh, okay, I can sit and watch, was the scene between Iroh and Toph again.
Yeah,
and that scene was just shot, in my opinion, perfectly. I mean, they went from the person who's talking to Toph talking, back to Iroh, back to Toph, back to Iroh, back to Toph, and then when they finally were like making an emotional connection with each other, then the camera went and shot both of them in every frame up from then on. Every once in a while, it would just zoom in on one of them if like Iroh was talking about, you know, Zuko or something like that, but it was like we're apart, we're showing this way, this way, this way, this way, then together. And then it was like all these nice panning shots and stuff, and it was like that through the whole episode. So the shots itself, I liked, but with all the continuity,
the last part on your like
right.
little thing, editing is like
with all the continuity errors. I'm like, well, what would you rate it?
I mean, camera motion, yeah, like editing kind of dropped it down.
Without looking
for me.
up continuity errors, what do you give it visually?
Visually, without like knowing all the errors to
You
it.
didn't know any of this until you read this. So based off of the episode,
Like I had to pull this up for like extra reference, but like I noticed like random like little crap like this.
So which one did you notice to begin with, which sparked your curiosity?
The tent thing bugged the heck out of me.
There was something
That
weird
one
with the tent, and
milliframe?
I couldn't put my finger on it because like the cut at the end was weird, and she did scoot in, which I'm like, oh, she earthbended, but it was just weird. There was something weird about her tents whenever she made them,
And especially like so early in the episode, I'm like, something's weird. But the effects, however, loved this one.
Yeah,
Because like this is the first time you see like every element being bent on one person.
Again, speaking of framing and stuff, that when Azula shoots down Iroh and everyone's like no, and then they go attack her.
Yeah,
it's like the Avengers scene, you know, from Age of Ultron, where everyone's swinging in and doing their own attack.
But how powerful that Azula just creates this fireball around her, like Aang does with air,
but with fire,
with fire
with
and
lightning.
then with like lightning energy.
you're talking about when like Azula like magically like disappears.
Yeah.
So what I loved about that is like they use the same effect. Azula, who's like obviously a prodigy, but like that's the same effect that Zhang uses in the Deserter to like get away from like all the Fire Nation soldiers, and he is a master of firebending. And it's like, oh no, this little girl is just like poof gone. Like, what? This.
She's a prodigy.
Yeah, I know.
I think that they just can't call her a master because of age. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it's because of her temper.
Or
I don't think she can get like
she's
an
a class A psychopath too.
Right.
All right, so visuals. What would you rate that?
If I'm not judging it just on goofs, I'd bump it up to like an 8. It was really good.
I'd give it an 8.
I struggle with continuity errors
Yeah,
a lot.
that kind of is unfortunate, but the effects. What would you rate that?
I'm gonna give this one a 9 for this episode because you get like 5 of them, I guess, because Sokka can't bend obviously. So you've got no, that's 4
5
benders.
elements.
Was that 4 benders then attacking Azula?
Yeah, Zuko.
Yeah. Oh, Zuko. So yeah, you've got 5 benders.
No. Well, Aang, Katara, Toph, and Zuko. And then Iroh's down. Sokka can't bend.
Oh, yeah. But still.
Oh. And then what would you guys overall rate the episode? That's kind of between us. Just the final
Overall,
rating.
I'd give it a... We're doing the point stuff here, right?
Oh, if you want to, yeah.
I thought this one was the one where we
can
do points on this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Overall, I'd give this a low A, like a 9.2.
Well, oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was gonna do a high B, so I guess we're not too far.
High B. So
I was gonna say like an 8.8.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 8.9.
So maybe like a.
You decide. 8.8, 8.9.
8.9 then. Okay. So that gives us 8 point. I can't do math.
If you did a 10, if you voted a 9, the thing I think would be 9.
What did you say? 9 point what?
9.8.
8 point.
Or 8.9.
No, what did you say? A 9 point.
9.2. Well, between all three of us, we have to come up with one rating.
Hold on.
We're doing 8.9. So 79 plus 8 is
27.9.
79 plus 8
yeah.
is 87.
87. So
27.9 divided by 3 would be a 9.3.
What? How do you get 3 A's and get a 9?
Right. The final rating with rounding is 8.8.
What was yours?
You said a 9.2.
Oh, I thought
9.2.
you. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you said. I thought you said you agreed
His-
with 8.9.
Yeah, let me. I'm slightly off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's it for this episode. We get an 8.8. IMDb gave it a 9.0, so we're pretty close. But
8.966.
Dustin, take us out.
All right.
Adding one that I shouldn't.
Thank you guys for watching this Chepisode of Phandom Knights. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to iTunes podcast, Spotify podcasts, and follow our Facebook group, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. No more Tinder. TikTok coming soon. And that's all we got for you guys today. So thank you guys for watching, and Appa.
Yep.